What's up, everyone? This is Corey, and I'm going to show you how to play Universally Speaking by Red Hot Chili Peppers. So, it's a pretty simple song. Let's begin with the chord progression played during the verses. It's just two chords. You have a D major chord with your first finger on the A string 5th fret and your third finger barring the D, G, and B strings on the 7th fret. Then you have an E minor 7th chord with your first finger on the A string 7th fret, second finger on the G string 7th fret, third finger on the B string 8th fret, and the open D and high E strings. Then you have the chorus. First I'll show you each of the chords and then I'll play the progression. So you have a minor chord with your first finger on the B string 1st fret, second finger on the D string 2nd fret, third finger on the G string 2nd fret, and the open A and high E strings. You have a B minor chord with your first finger barring the A through high E strings on the 2nd fret, your second finger on the B string 3rd fret, third finger on the D string 4th fret, and fourth finger on the G string 4th fret. You slide that up 2 frets for a C sharp minor, and then slide that up 3 frets for an E minor. Then you have an A major chord with your first finger barring the low E through high E strings on the 5th fret, your second finger on the G string 6th fret, third finger on the A string 7th fret, and fourth finger on the D string 7th fret. And you slide that down 2 frets for a G major. So you have A major, C sharp minor, G major, B minor, repeat, A minor, B minor, E minor. Then last is the solo at the end. It's a pretty simple one. It's all on the D string, and the notes you'll be using is an open D, an F sharp on the 4th fret, a G on the 5th fret, A on the 7th fret, C sharp on the 11th fret, D on the 12th fret, E on the 14th fret, F sharp on the 16th fret, and A on the 19th fret. It goes like this. as you saw, you bend that F sharp down here. Alright, and that's the whole song. Next I will cover it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.